Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Shriver. I'm the co-founder of Unite and the co-founder and co-leader of a small but powerful group of young people and middle-aged people and older people who are all committed to telling the story of the bigger picture in our country, the new story of us. I'm grateful for all the work each and every one of you are doing. I wish I were there, but I'm going to learn a lot from what you guys discuss and what you guys come together to agree on in the hours and days ahead. I founded Unite a few years ago with colleagues who were worried in an almost existential way about the state of our country. We saw divisiveness, we saw the diseases of despair, addiction, depression, suicide booming in our country, sadly. We saw the sense in which our families were falling apart, 25, maybe 30% of our families feeling like you're losing a relationship that matters to you over our politics and over our culture wars. We saw the stagnation in our political life, the hostility on our streets, the indifference to injustice in so many institutions, the hardening of attitudes of anger and hostility and contempt. And we thought to ourselves, after talking to young people and focus groups and middle and high school kids around the country, from the deep South to the coasts and the heartland of the country too, we polled, we met with experts. What's going on in our politics? What's going on in our culture? Why have we become so hostile to one another? We asked and asked for almost 2 years. We came to a pretty simple conclusion that a new issue had arisen in our country. The issue is in and of itself the issue of hatred and contempt. We came to a second conclusion, that there were a group of us, I say us, who were profiting from the acceleration and the turbocharging of hatred and contempt. That network, that unholy alliance of political leaders, fundraisers, media leaders had come to the conclusion that hatred and contempt sell, and they were going to sell it. And furthermore, we came to the conclusion that that group, ironically, is most responsible for helping us define the story of our collective country, the we of who we are. We have many ways to define the me, many ways to define the communities of faith or civic action, or political conviction that are ours, that are our networks, that are our neighborhoods, that are our clubs, that are our sites that we like to visit. But the we, the larger we, that we rely on our politics and our media and our larger storytelling capacity to see ourselves in it. And what were we seeing? We were seeing hatred and contempt over and over again, drilling it into us, even against our will, it seemed, reminding us that we should hate, that we should fear whoever they are. So we determined, as crazy as it sounds, that Unite should not only focus on helping people see the contempt and see its alternative, in effect, to awaken conscience. We have a project called the Dignity Index that does that, dignityindex.us. But we determined that we also needed new storytellers to get platforms, that if we couldn't change the culture, if the primary architects of culture were trying to crush us, if the primary architects of the superstructure of our storytelling were determined to tell us a story that would destroy us, no matter how hard we tried from the bottom up, we couldn't succeed. The last premise we had was that the story of division and contempt is a lie. We are being lied to about each other. The data across the board supports this. Do we agree or disagree on issues like guns and immigration, even reproductive rights, things we think we're at loggerheads, we think we hate each other? Actually, we have widespread agreement. When we ask questions to people about how they judge the other side, they have what more in common our team has identified as the perception gap. We don't actually know what the other side thinks. And what we think they think is wrong. Why? Because we're being told over and over again, you should hate them, you should fear them, you should have contempt for them. They're threatening you, they're evil, they're wrong, you're right. As long as you keep hearing that, you lose track of the actual condition in the country. So we were convinced that we're being lied to, and we were also and are also convinced that there's a whole new story emerging in the country. People who are taking conflict, who are taking the tension of the moment, which is natural and normal, and converting it and transforming it into new ideas and creative energy and new models of faith, new models of politics, new models of education, new models of law enforcement, new models of art. The storytelling is going on in the country, and we're not seeing it. The people who are taking pain and transforming it into creative ideas are there. We're not listening to them. The artists and the creatives who are imagining a different kind of country are there, but they're not getting that platform. The storytellers who can show us that even in the midst of the most desperate, most feared, most uncomfortable moments, that there's sometimes a way to metabolize pain into something new that doesn't just result in demonizing the other. They're there. We're convinced of it. If we told those stories, we assumed, the country would at least have a chance. We would have a chance. I would feel that's the home base for me. That's the media I want to follow. I want to learn about the transformers. I want to learn about the people who metabolize pain. I want to learn about the people who are finding justice and joy. I want to know the stories of people who don't just see differences of opinion, but also see common humanity and find a way to elevate common humanity as a way of transforming differences of opinion. It's a lot of work to do. It can't be done by one group, one studio, one show, one broadcast, one YouTube channel, one Facebook site, one Instagram post. For sure, it's a culture changing moment. We need everybody. But we can create a tipping point in this culture that turns this moment of great change, significant pain, and in many cases, painful division. We can convert this into something new, a different kind of country, a new kind of universal dignity, a new sense of what it means to belong, a new hope for how we do democracy, a new conviction about where justice lies in our future. We got to have the storytellers help us do that. We have to have the new story of us, grounded in dignity, transforming pain, producing new models of justice and joy, and I dare say, unity. I can't wait to hear what all of you come up with for taking on that challenge, or even to hear the challenge framed in the ways each and every one of you have framed it. I'm grateful to be a part of this network and look forward to working with all of you. Without the storytellers, there's no future for our country. The urgency couldn't be higher than it is right now. Thank you for responding to it.